Hey guys, it's Byte, and welcome to Game 2 of Polt versus sOs. Now, in Game 1, sOs was able to take the victory. If you didn't already see that, I recommend you go watch Game 1. It was a fantastic game. Let me turn up the volume here real quick. It seems kind of low. Just turn that up. Seems a bit better. Alright, so, spawning in the bottom right corner for Game 2 is going to be sOs. And up in the top left, we are going to see Polt. It's going to be played on Akilon Waste, one of my favorite maps. Unfortunately, not in the current map pool, but obviously it was for this game. The reason I'm such a big fan of Akilon Waste is just because it's such a balanced map for all races, I feel. As a Terran, there's a lot of places you can drop if your opponent decides to take this third. You can be dropping in this area, doing a lot of damage. You also have a lot of potential to get a lot of multi-pronged harassment into really any base, as any race, to be honest. And ultimately, there's a lot of chokes like this, and also a lot of open areas, like say right here, where it's almost just an entire screen of just land where you can fight. Now on this map, there are two third bases. There's this one in which it's a lot easier to defend the front, just because even once you break these rocks down, this part's always going to be here, and you can block off the whole thing for some amount of time until that's destroyed again. So that can be an easily defensible third as long as you can get the harassment cut off from this angle. This third, it has a much wider area, but it can be easier to defend in some parts, and it's not as easy to come and drop as another race. So that's the benefit of taking this base here. But there's, you can see there's a lot more dead space over in this area. So sOs going to be starting out with an assimilator, or it's like a 15, 16 type of thing, something like that. And then he's got this pylon here just to make sure there's no early harassment coming in through here, like possibly a banshee or anything. But from Polt, looks like we're going to see a command center first to try and go into more of an economic build. We saw last game how bad his economy and his tech suffered compared to sOs because of that oracle. So hopefully Polt will be able to defend that better this time if he sees it coming, and will be able to maintain a better economy. It looks like sOs is going to go for something, possibly a proxy of some sort, or from the look of the minerals and everything, looks like it's going to be another Stargate, just like last game. Yep, there it is. And note how this is kind of hard to scout by Polt, because he actually has to go into this area. He can't just be wandering around here, go to the Zelnaga Tower, because unfortunately these will be in the way. Polt was able to scout everything out, so he knows there has to be something missing, because there is double gas. The warp gate was not researching, so the only gas being spent right now would have been on the mothership core, which he knows is not enough for double gas. He did not see that probe right there, so I don't believe he knows the expansion is coming up. You can see him checking down here and everywhere because he knows there's a proxy somewhere, but he's not quite able to find it. The one thing I do like about this placement, and just I like about Akilon Waste in general, is that early game it can be a really great place to put this. But say in late game, it's not going to be as effective because it's Polt's moving across with like Marauders, with Medevacs and Marines. He's going to be able to snipe that pretty easily, but that's not going to be till later on. The Oracle's going to be coming out pretty soon to try and go kill some SCVs. He does have a pretty decent Marine count, and he's going off of 3 barracks. Probably because he knows there's an Oracle coming, he just wasn't able to scout out where exactly. So he's just keeping these Marines in a position where he can kind of run back and forth. Without Stim, it's going to be hard to chase down any Oracle, but he at least has the Marine count to attempt to do so. So this Oracle is going to come in now. You see the expansion coming up from sOs, so he's just trying to get a very early economic lead. Oh, the Marine's actually moving down right now. That is not a good thing. He's going to have to run the SCVs away and just try to intercept that Oracle. Let's see what we go up to in the units lost tab. There's 3 SCVs? I can't exactly tell because the resource is a bit different. So not 100% sure on that one. I must have missed something, but he at least got 2 workers for that, which isn't great for the amount you put in for that, but it's also not bad seeing as he's got the expansion. So he's going to be throwing down double forge to get those early upgrades and the sentries. So it looks like he's going to be going for more of a macro game, which is always fun to see. Polt's going to be getting Marines in every base. An Oracle, another Oracle coming in, sees the Marines right away. It's not going to go for that. Got Marines up here. He's getting the tech lab down on one of his barracks. No factory started quite yet. He's just focusing on getting units out to defend from any type of early attack. Although it's very doubtful we're going to see that. Oh, a hallucinated Oracle coming out. This could make some interesting little feint attacks. I'm actually really curious to see if this happens. Oh, if the Marine scouts this. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going. Oh, it's not going to see that one either. So it's just right in the middle and somewhere where it's really not going to be effective. This hallucination looks like it's going to fake into the main and try to bring some of these Marines up. I know it's going to come right in here and just try and move the Marines over, it looks like. Yep, Polt's going to go ahead and move them over. Then this Oracle's just going to come in and, yep, it's going to catch a Mule, one SCV. So he's making it work, or at least he's doing his best. This hallucination's going to die any moment now. Polt just taking it out for whatever reason. No losses by SOS there. And he's actually going to hallucinate another Oracle, so that's kind of interesting. Check the production data to see what we got up, see what we're getting. Polt just starting his 1-0, while SOS is about halfway done on his 1-1. Also a double Twilight Council, which is kind of interesting. Do not see that too often. They're going for Blink and Charge at the same time. It's definitely not too common to see a double Twilight Council. And are they both going to finish? We'll have to see. He's also getting 3 Warp Gates down. So we'll see what he decides to do with this. I would say it's a little late for Blink Stalkers, so Zealot, probably Zealot Archon is what I would say he's going to be going for here. I would say that's definitely an accident on that second Twilight Council. Polt is just working more on getting his army up than anything else. No third started. He's not big on upgrades at the moment, not big on tech. He's just trying to get down what he can. Hallucinated Phoenix is going to come in to scout. Oracle is going to come back for a bit, I guess. Maybe watch for drops. A small infantry of units seems to be moving out, but I doubt that's going to get much done. That versus this, SOS would hold that really, really easily, especially since if needed he would photon overcharge the main, but there's really no reason to do that either. Polt is floating a lot of minerals at the moment, so we'll see if maybe he starts a third. Oh yeah, there's the third base going down. Gonna go ahead and break down these rocks. And let's see what Polt plans on doing with his force, because I know Polt hasn't scouted it yet, but I do believe SOS will win this fight fairly convincingly with the photon overcharge, 3 more zealots being warped in. It's just looking pretty good for SOS. 4 more gateways on the way, and no storm started on the Templar Archive, so yes, looks like we are going to be seeing that Zealot Archon style. Let's see, I don't know if he's actually seen this Stargate yet. Oh, he has. He's seen that. So, let's see how this fight goes. Yeah, Polt sees immediately that he's not going to do much with that, so he's just going to go ahead and pull back for a bit. Maybe try to stay out on the map. He's going to clear out that pylon. Looks like SOS is going to move forward to see what he can do. Ooh, those feedbacks. Actually, feedbacks have quite good range, don't they? If he gets a second feedback, then there is no healing on this army. Well, 2 more coming in. Okay, looks like we're going to have a bit of an engagement. The force was actually helping out some of Polt's units, but for the rest, they were all trapped. It looks like, though, that does give Polt a lead in the unit's loss. Well, it's looking fairly even, but Polt does have a very, very small lead. He's just going to be cutting this army back. Looks like he'll be able to kill an Archon. Put pylons out and be able to warp in more Stalkers. This is actually starting to look kind of dangerous for Polt. He needs to get in that bunker and repair it if possible. I think SOS's best option here is to try to go from the back, because there's really nothing to defend once he gets in that area. I know it is a choke, which is not good for Zealots, but still it would be worth a shot. Alright, looks like mostly Zealots in this army, so probably not going to be doing too much until he can get like 2 or 3 more Archons in there to do that splash damage to these Marines. Okay, he is going to start working on those rocks to go through, and he's getting a couple more High Templar to get more Archons, which is really what he needs in this army. The sentries will be able to force field decent, but there's not enough there to really give Polt any huge disadvantage. Looks like Polt should catch wind of what's going on here. SCV is just barely transferring down, so this could be a big loss. He's clearing them out. Looks like he can come for a flank on this army. Polt's going to lift up the orbital command straight off, but he lost a lot of SCVs right there. This army at the moment is kind of trapped, but the warp-ins from the pylon helping out very nicely right there. Polt just picking off the zealots wherever he can, and you know, SOS is just feedbacking wherever he can. Checking the production tab, still no storm started. The Orc is actually coming in to join in the fight as well. When Archon gets sniped right as it's morphing, this push is starting to look pretty good. It was looking fairly all in until that Nexus started. So it looks like SOS will plan on falling back into some sort of economy, just trying to get damage done with this. And it is going okay right now. Not killing damage by any means. In fact, Polt is just barely behind, now actually winning in the units lost. It's funny, you can see from that just how expensive these units are that SOS is losing. And these Marauders are just so resilient that they are very hard to kill with just these Zealots and Archons. Both of which are great against Marines. They are okay against Marauders, though. 2-2 being started for Polt. What upgrades? Let's see what upgrades we've got for SOS. He has his 2-2 already here. So once Polt's 2-2 hits, he will have a pretty decent lead. The 3-2 is now on its way for SOS along with Storm. So we'll kind of see. It looks like he's going to be falling back with his army. Good choice by SOS. You don't want to lose anything else. Ooh, he's actually got an Oracle here. Could just come in and kill off some SCVs really easily at the moment. There's a Viking patrolling, but it's not doing anything at the moment. Looks like this army's just going to be falling back, and he's going to try and saturate a third base, which he's a bit oversaturated on his natural at least, so he needs to get that changed fast. Going to boosting out those upgrades just to try and get a little bit of an advantage. Not bad. Looks like Polt's just going to be trying to clear out a bit, but this army's going to come back in, and looks like we're going to have another few engagements in the next couple minutes. Oh, where's the rest of the army for Polt, though? I know this isn't all of it. He's got to have more units somewhere. Oh, they're going for a big drop into the main, it looks like. This fight, Polt's just going to do what he can to delay the army. Once this drop hits the main, that could possibly be critical damage for SOS. But there really just isn't much here to hold for Polt either. So we'll see how this goes, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being kind of a base trade scenario. Polt's going to drop on the other side of here, but that bunker is already broken down before any units even get inside of it. The drop, he looks like he's going to go ahead and snipe the Nexus to weaken the economy of SOS. SOS is moving into the main, though, with the Zealots to try and get a little bit of damage to Polt's economy. Polt's economy is looking very, very in danger at the moment. Let's check the unit tab. He's down to 24, 22 SCVs. That's dropping insanely rapidly right now. And SOS still sitting at 57. And these units are just doing work. Polt has unpowered every gateway and almost every building. He needs to snipe these forges fast, though, before those upgrades can finish. He does get one. Will he get the second forge? Yes, he gets it just in time. So no 3-3 for SOS anytime soon. I don't believe there's 3-3 for Polt either, but that is such a huge delay. Polt is down to 2 SCVs to 53 probes. Right now it's looking kind of like an insurmountable lead for SOS, who still does have his natural, but his production is very, very low. He just has to remake those buildings to try and get an army up. But it looks like for the next little bit, Polt's going to have a bit of an army lead. This Oracle is just going to try and limit Polt's economy as much as it can for the next couple minutes until SOS can get back on his feet. In my opinion, Polt really needs to be out on the map trying to kill more, because he killed a lot, but he didn't kill enough to win the game. SOS's economy, once he gets some infrastructure back up, is really going to be able to do well. But for the next few minutes, he did get the Cyber Core as well, so it is just going to be Zealots, and he also going to get the Templar Archives, so he can still get those Zealots and the Archons. Oh, this Viking. Still not seeing that Oracle, which is kind of funny. Also going to be killing off the Stargate for really no reason, but whatever. Going to be sniping off some Zealots. He also forced a Photon Overcharge, which is really big, because now he cannot Photon Overcharge to this base as well. You can see SOS's his income. Sure, he's got good economy, but there's nothing he can do with his economy. There's no balance between economy and production and tech at the moment. He's just trying to get all that stuff back up. Oh, Polt is going to go straight for the Nexus. We'll see if he can get it. There are quite a bit of storms here. He was able to snipe that Nexus, actually. Great job by Polt. So now the economy of SOS is actually going to be not great either. Looks like these workers are just kind of... Okay, there we go. Polt still... So, economy-wise, let's check the income tab. sOs is still winning, only by a couple hundred minerals though. Gassy has a pretty significant lead. Looks like Polt's gonna come in and get some more probes and possibly another Nexus. If you check the units lost tab, sOs has lost much more. If these units run past these, that could be a huge move for Polt as well. Looks like that's exactly what he's gonna go and do. He could even pick up these units and head into the natural. Oh, let's see if Polt can get done here. He goes for the cannon. There's a few units trying to fight off this army. No, there is a photon overcharge available. He's just halting the production right now. This army is just not fast enough. Oh, and Polt's going to snipe this Nexus as well. That's going to bring sOS's economy to a literal halt. There's nothing sOs can make at the moment. And, I mean, checking the units tab, sure, it's 43 probes to 17 SCVs, but really those 43 probes are completely insignificant. They may as well not even be there because they're not mining anything. The only thing they can really do is go for an all-in with this army, which really might be the best thing for sOs to do. He barely had enough minerals to remake that Nexus, so there is going to be absolutely zero economy for the next few minutes for sOs, because that Nexus, let's see how long that takes. That takes almost 2 minutes to make. So he's going to be relying on storms to try and kill off Polt for the next little bit. Looks like that's not too bad of a plan. A lot of those High Templar are getting more into Archons though. So not too many storms going to be available other than that. The medevac count is down to 2. It was pretty big a second ago, but we lost a lot going in for that attack down here. Let's see if we had a Zealot trying to counterattack him here. So sOs just trying to do a little bit of damage control. This supply is actually quite deceiving because sure he's winning in supply, but most of that supply is probes, all but 24. If we check, I don't quite. Oh no, we want sound enabled. I don't quite know all of the things yet, how to check the army supply and all that, but I will figure it out at some point or another. For now, we'll just go with casting. But anyway, another thing we can see is these mineral fields are really low. There's probably another 400 minerals left in this total, so we can get enough minerals from this to make another base down here. Especially these probes is going to be long distance mining. If we check the income tab, Polt is now up to about 1,500 in income, while sOs is hovering around the 700 mark and the 800 mark with those long distance mining probes. Really just a lot of inefficient economy in this game, but I can't believe Polt is still in this game after he was down almost 50 SCVs at one point. Looks like he's baiting out a lot of storms right now. Just trying to be active with his army since he has that luxury for now. Checking the production tab, sOs has started another Nexus. Excuse me. These medevacs are going to be flying across. Looks like we're going to have another drop going into the main of sOs. And this army is going to be this little, whatever you want to call it, infantry group is going to be pulling the army out of position even more. And this army is just going to try and kill more infrastructure. If he gets that Templar Archives, that could be quite huge. These Archons will be able to do decent damage, but with just 2 of them, it's not going to be anything too great. Polt did chase down that one Archon, though. I don't know if that was an accident or not, but either way, it wasn't too great for him. sOs's income, it looks like Polt was able to actually hurt that Nexus. So sOs's income is going to start going back up in just a little bit, and likely we'll see it shoot up into the thousands in the next couple seconds. The question is, were those last couple minutes enough to just win the game for Polt? Because that was really significant damage right there. It's quite hard to say if it's winnable for sOs at this point. Sure, Storm, that is a fantastic upgrade, but if Polt's micro is good enough, he's able to split his army away from those storms and make the Archons less effective. Polt can win this game with moves like that. Looks like he's going to be trying to drop back here. That's not going to get much done though with the High Templar and an Archon. Yeah, he sees it, and he's not going to go for that. This army is going to come up from front. Looks like something died. That's being medevac into the mechanical. And just killing off the decan. If you check the units lost tab, we can see that Polt actually losing in that regard. But he's just, it's very hard to say who really has an advantage. I would say it's Polt just because of, mainly because of infrastructure. But it's very hard to say still. I think a good idea would just be Polt for to go up to 3-3 as soon as he possibly can. Maybe then try to do this push a little better. But really, there's nothing producing for sOs at all. Looks like an attack going on over here with a couple of zealots. That's not too bad of an idea. But economy, I feel, is something that in this game, unless the game goes on for a lot longer, I don't find economy to be crazy important. The real thing is, you're just doing what Polt's doing, which is just being very active. Snipes the cybernetics core, and you're just going to see what else you can get here. There's plenty of zealots. Zealots are not too much of these army with the marauder now. Storm, yeah, that's always going to be a lot to fly on me. But other than that, there's not much to fight off this little. Oh, he actually sniped the Nexus again. Great job by Polt, and now the income yet again is going to drop down to basically an insignificant number, and it looks like he's going to be able to get the Templar archives as well. So for the next little bit, the only unit SOS can make is in fact zealots. There's nothing else you can make out of those gateways. Maybe sentries. I actually don't know if sentries. I believe they require cybernetics core, but you know, I don't play Protoss too much. I fight sentries. I don't make them. Looks like SOS is going to be going for possibly a final little all-in here. A very powerful all-in with the amount of storms. Plus, you can just morph them into Archons once the storm is done. But there's just enough units here from Polt where I believe he'll be able to fight this instant liftoff on that base. He knows he's not going to hold this necessarily, so he's just going to get as many units as he can because he knows with this drop here, if he defeats this army, he wins the game. If he can bait out enough storms and everything, then he straight up wins. Oh, the storms are going to be very, very good from SOS. That gets quite scary for Polt, actually. Army going to come in from the back and clean up a lot of these High Templar. We're down to 4 Archons, make that 3. This one very weak as well. Both of these two are weak, and the army has been cleaned up by Polt. So, it looks like Polt is going to be taking game 2 in this best of 5, I believe it is. Great job here from Polt. I can't believe how much he's able to just destroy the economy of SOS, even though his economy was 2 SCVs and mules at one point. That's pretty incredible. This orbital command did melt away over here, by the way, but at this point in the game, I believe Polt can just sit in this little sweet spot right here where no photon overcharges can hit him and just kill off probes. Looks like the probes won't be doing that for too much longer, though. If he just waits for this photon overcharge to wear off. Oh, a big transfer of probes. I don't know. Ooh, that killed a lot of probes. And now the photon overcharge is worn off. You can just go ahead and kill all these warp gates. Yep, there's the GG from SOS. Great job by Polt in game 2 to win that game. He was just able to make enough move and be active enough with his army that ultimately the economy lead that SOS had went down to nothing. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed game 2. Game 3 will be up soon, and I will see you guys next time.